I teased it, though, Alan. There's been, I think, something that has emerged that may cause a little bit of a ripple in the Niners QB room. This from Matt Mayoko at NBCSportsBayArea.com. Sam Darnold has not thrown an interception in 82 pass attempts this summer. When Kyle Shanahan was asked, he said, "Are you sure? I'll bet you guys." Are we allowed to bet on that? I thought there was a tip that a guy dove for and got it. He'll check again. Point being, Sam Darnold is doing the one thing that Kyle Shanahan loves more than anything else, and that is not turn the ball over.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold, when you look at the types of quarterbacks that the Niners have on their roster, he might be the souped-up version of what Kyle Shanahan likes, because we know that Sam Darnold coming out of USC, it was all about the arm talent, and it's never been an issue about the arm talent. It's been an issue about basically everything else, and if you can, be that gunslinger but not necessarily sling it to the other team, Kyle Shanahan's going to have heart eye emojis all over the place. But ultimately, I don't really know how much that means. We're in the Bay Area, so we hear so much about training camp, and depending on who you follow, you're going to see completely different stats.
Right.
So I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how other training. Obviously, it's a competition, right? Even though I don't know how much of a competition it is. I think it's Brock, and it's crazy to think it would be anybody other than Brock. But everybody is taking every single pass and just everything is. That's just the world we live in, though, because everything is, oh, yeah, it's Trey, or oh, yeah, it's Brock. And just the hyperbole that gets used all over the place, I don't know what to do with it. So Darnold doesn't have a pick. Great. What? So what? So what?
I mean, the so what answer for me is that's Kyle Shanahan's wet dream, is a quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over. And if you look at Sam Darnold in his previous games, he threw 55 picks in 56 games in his first 5 years. So that's a pick a game. That's Oprah. You get a pick and you get a pick.
But he's got the most experience. He should be performing the best in a specific situation like this. He's been through the training camp. He's been through this all before, right? He's been through this situation. And, Brock, obviously, he's just now coming in, rookie last year. You have Trey, who's been injured a little bit, even though, Trey's had a couple years, but Sam Darnold has been around the block. He's been on different teams. So, to me, he should perform the best. That's like, I'm trying to compare it to a different, that's like somebody doing the best in spring training for baseball versus a top prospect.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, all I'm pointing out is the lack of interceptions in terms of just camp. And Purdy's thrown 4 interceptions, and Trey Lance has been picked off twice. Purdy and Lance each with a pick today. Purdy reportedly 9 of 18 with that interception, and Trey Lance was just 2 of 6 on the day today. What do you make of practice stats? Because I only report them because people have an appetite for them. I don't really take much of this in terms of import. I do think it's interesting, though, that Darnold hasn't thrown an interception as it pertains to what Kyle Shanahan's going to want. I think that Brock Purdy's got the job.
I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just, if it's a matter of the QB2 conversation, sure, let's have it. But in terms of anything with Brock Purdy is going to have to play like garbage for anybody to bump him out. I think most of us realize that. But it is funny, though, because when you read off those stats, I mean, based on social media or depending on who you follow, you would think that Trey Lance has had more picks than Purdy. But is it more about Purdy taking more chances? I know he's going up against the one defense where Trey Lance is. There's so many different things that you can take and the caveats that people take in and decide to put into their, not just the stats, but it's also, by the way, you should keep in mind when Purdy threw the pick, blah, 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 blah. But then when Trey throws a pick, nothing. It was just a pick, right?
Right.
But that's just one person you follow. Then you follow somebody else. Well, Sam Darnold didn't have a pick, but this, and Brock Purdy didn't have a pick, but he should have. So the whole thing is a complete mess. I cannot wait to just get to the season. Because it doesn't matter.
It's a lot of subjectivity. You're right. And I'm just reading this piece from Mayoko, and I'm not saying that he's got anything in terms of an agenda, but he does point out that Tashawn Gibson intercepted a Purdy pass that was tipped, and then he says linebacker Demetrius Flanagan fouls, intercepted Trey Lance. No no word of a tip or no word of, just the way it reads, it feels like, well, it was a tip ball, so that's why he
it wasn't his fault, right? And that's why this whole
and
thing...
I'm accusing Matt Mayoko of anything because he's the best on the beat. He and Matt Barrows, in my opinion, are 1 and 1A in terms of coverage, but to your point, depending on who you read and what they think, there are subtleties in how all this is being covered, and I'm kind of with you. I can't wait, and really for me, I can't wait until Sunday, the Raider game, the first preseason game, and I'm not sure if Brock Purdy will play or not. They haven't yet rolled out a plan that I've seen in terms of the quarterbacks, who's going to play and how much, but I'll be interested to see how these quarterbacks do once they start going up against other people.
I would expect... Well, I don't know about, if Brock Purdy plays, I'm not necessarily sure, but I would expect that Sam Darnold will probably play better than Trey Lance.
Play better or play first? Because to me,
better.
It's more about who plays first than it is about who plays better. Do you think that matters at all?
Why? Because of who they're going up against?
No, because what the perception would be in terms of the order. And let's just say for the conversation that Brock Purdy doesn't play. And I'm not sure if he will or he won't, but if he does play, he'll be the starter, and he'll get a series or two. Whatever he gets, he gets.
Yeah.
But then who comes in? Who comes in as the next quarterback? Do you think that those optics matter at all, or are we just grasping at straws?
In terms of the Trey Lance thing, that's come around, it's gone away, it's come back. I don't know. If you think that Trey's value is already in the tank, then you just go with who you think is a better quarterback. And if they think that Sam Darnold's been playing better, Sam Darnold will be out there first. If you still think that you can maybe salvage some of Trey's value, I would go with Trey first, because then maybe he gets hot and you can get, a better pick for him than you would if another team is looking, thinking, wait, so you're telling me you got Brock Purdy, you got Sam Darnold. There were even reports about Brandon Allen playing well. So here, you're going to take this 7th-round pick and you're going to like it, right? If that. So it depends on how they view it. I just wish, and you got to hang with me here, Dibs.
Okay.
I just wish that...
I'm here all week,
this would never actually be said, right? But you watch The Bachelor or anything like that, people have types. And I just think that it's to a point now where Kyle Shanahan, I think we know that Kyle Shanahan has a type. He has a type of quarterback that he likes. We know how much he loves Kirk Cousins. And we know that he loved at one point Jimmy Garoppolo. And now he loves Brock Purdy. All of those guys are completely different than Trey Lance. And that's why when I do hear the whole conversation about, well, he didn't really want Trey Lance, he wanted Mac Jones, I believe it. You know why I believe it? Because Mac Jones is more his type, right? He just is. So I don't necessarily know if they had any plan for Trey Lance. I believe he might have been pressured into it because it just doesn't fit. If you have a friend that normally dates a certain type of person and then they say, I'm going to try something different, how often does that actually work out?